now enormous astral body. As the shaft of light descends to the feet, vibrate the word Malkuth. Malkuth, meaning the kingdom. Visualize and feel this brilliant ray or shaft of pure light, which has descended from above and encompasses your tremendous astral body. Touch the right shoulder. With this tap, a sphere of light is formed just off the right shoulder, in tone of the word Vagabura. Vagabura, which means hand of power. Move your right hand across your body and imagine that from this bright sphere of light extends a beam of scintillating light, penetrating the chest and continuing through and just beyond the left shoulder. At this time, the left shoulder is tapped, and another sphere of light is formed while you vibrate the word Vagabura, which means and the glory. In this manner is formed the cross of light. Now clasp your hands in a praying position on your chest, with both arms and elbows raised, to be encompassed in the horizontal beam of light. Vibrate the final word, La'ola. Amen. Meaning forever. Amen. Face the east. For the ceremonial instrument, you may use a stick of incense, a ritual dagger, or the pointed index finger of your right hand. Inscribed in the air before you, a large, vanishing pentagram. That means, with your ritual instrument in your right hand, start at the lower left-hand point of the pentagram, opposite and outside your left hip. The hand is moved to the uppermost point of the pentagram, which is pictured in front of and just above your forehead. Continue tracing downwards to outside and opposite the right hip. Now move upwards diagonally to outside and opposite the left shoulder. Horizontally across your body to a point and outside your right shoulder. And complete the pentagram by moving down to the starting point opposite your left hip. beings, visualize a beautiful blue flame which follows the point of the dagger as it inscribes the five-pointed star. When the pentagram has been completely traced, thrust the point of the dagger to the center of the pentagram, vibrating the deity name. Yod-Heh, Vav-Heh. Imagining that your voice carries forward to the end of the universe. With dagger still extended, turn in place or circumambulate to your right, to the south, and make a vanishing pentagram. That is, starting from the lower left and moving to the upper center. And with the center of thrust of the dagger, vibrate the deity name. Adonai. Each pentagram remains a flame and is connected with the continuous circle being traced by the extended dagger. Turn or move to the west, with arm and dagger extended. Make the same type of pentagram as before. As you once again score the dagger in the center of the star, vibrate the God name. Now turn to the north. Dagger still extended. Make the same type of pentagram. And upon completion, thrust the dagger in the center of the star and vibrate the deity name. With arm and dagger still pointed, return to the east. Complete your circle of flame by bringing the point of your dagger to the center of the first pentagram. Pause a moment. Imagine, and above all, realize, you are standing in a flaming circle with beautiful fiery pentagrams in each quadrant. Facing the east, with arms outstretched in the form of a cross, say and vibrate before me, Raphael. Behind me, Gabriel. At my right hand, Michael. At my left hand, Oriel. Before me flames the pentagram, and in the column stands the six-rayed star. Follow the above pentagram ritual once again using the Kabbalistic cross as before.
Is it Kitover?
Imagine yourself beginning to grow taller. The earth is getting smaller. A small, roving ball beneath your feet. Scintillating white light. Visualize this brilliant light descending to form a sphere of light just above your head. Raise your right hand slightly above your forehead. Bring the ball of light down and touch your forehead, vibrating the word Atah.
I advocate you have
What is it like to get done?
What is it like I think it's especially nice to be able to help
The
others
hand
support
now
those
down.
Science and knowledge is the bedrock of our civilization.
As the shaft of light descends to the feet, vibrate the word Malkuth.
What is it like to get done?
Visualize the green shaft of pure light from above and touch the right shoulder. A sphere of light is formed just off the right shoulder, in tone of the word Vagabura. Vagabura, which means and the power. Move your right hand across your body. At this time, the left shoulder is tapped, and another sphere of light is formed while you vibrate the word Vagadula. Vagadula, which means and the glory. In this manner is formed the cross of light.
And the Negro can prove to the white man
Now
that he
clasp your hands with both arms and elbows raised.
and the Negro can
Vibrate
prove
the final word, La'ola. La'ola.
The Trump is the best thing happened ever to us. Because she believed not the entire population of this Nordic magician, that he is the magician of the highest order, that he is there in his irrational mind to create confusion in order with the human being to find new order. And you know, it's not so stupid thinking about this in that way. It's completely turning things upside down. Because since Trump is around, things are changing. The Trump is the best thing happened.
right hand. Me at my left hand. Forming flames the pentagram. In the column stands the six-rayed star.
Lagadula. Amen.
The bornless ritual. Thee I invoke the bornless one. Thee that didst create the earth and the heavens. Thee that didst create the night and the day. Thee that didst create the darkness and the light. Thou art Asa Anefa, whom no man hath seen at any time. Thou art Yahweh. Thou art Eon, a Tophrus wrong. Thou hast distinguished between the just and the unjust. Thou didst make the female and the male. Thou didst produce the seeds and the fruit. Thou didst form men to love one another and to hate one another. I am Achav the Konsu, thy prophet, unto whom thou didst commit thy mysteries, the ceremonies of heaven. Thou didst produce the moist and the dry, and that which nourisheth all created life. Hear thou me, for I am the angel of Patan, a Tophrus wrong. This is thy true name, handed down to the prophets of
He
heaven.
won't die. The only reason he's worried about it is because he thinks it's stupid. That whole thing in Genesis 3 is actually really
Hear me, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of warrior and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God may be obedient unto me. I invoke thee, the terrible and invisible God, who dwellest in the void place of the Spirit. So thou one, hear me, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of a rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God may be obedient unto me. Hear me, who are Mariodom, Babylon, Balvin, Abaft, Asalonoi, Arfen, Eof, Proteth, Abrasax, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God may be obedient unto me. I invoke thee, hear me, all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of a rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God may be obedient unto me. Hear me. Thus on Isaac, this is the Lord of the gods. This is the Lord of the universe. This is he whom the winds fear. This is he who, having made voice by his commandment, is Lord of all things, King, ruler, and helper. Hear me, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God may be obedient unto me. Hear me. I am he, the bornless spirit, having sight in the feet, strong and the immortal fire. I am he, the truth. I am he who hate, that evil should be wrought in the world. I am he that lighteneth and thundereth. I am he from whom is the shower of the life of earth. I am he whose mouth ever flameth. I am he the begetter and manifester unto the light. I am he, the grace of the worlds. The heart girt with a serpent is my name. Come thou forth and follow me, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God may be obedient unto me. E-R-O, Saba-O. Such are the words.
Hello?
profaning, on lusting, on Peter. In the name of the mighty and terrible one, I proclaim that I have banished the shells unto their habitations. I invoke Tahuti, the Lord of wisdom and of utterance, the God that cometh forth from the veil. O thou majesty of the Godhead, wisdom crowned Tahuti, Lord of the gates of the universe, thee I invoke. O thou of the ibis head, thee I invoke. Thou who wieldest the wand of double power, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest in thy left hand the rose and cross of light and light, thee I invoke. Thou whose head is as an emerald, and thy nemes as the night sky blue, thee I invoke. Thou whose skin is of flaming orange as though it burned in a furnace, thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are sprung, which is as light unto the dwellers in the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dust, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine forks upon your pinnacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who accompany the bier to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of Rome, ever advancing onwards to the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which standeth in the center of the earth. Behold, he is in me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance, wherein the path flows over the foam. I travel upon high. I tread upon the firmament of news. My ways are flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on in the splendor of the daily glorified one, giving my life to the dwellers of earth. If I say, come up upon the mountains, the celestial waters shall flow at my word. For I am Ra incarnate, created in the flesh. I am the eidolon of my father Tanu, Lord of the city of the sun. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart. My tongue is the sanctuary of truth, and a guard sitteth upon my lips. My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart realizes itself as that of the Tower when he created his works. I am eternal, therefore all things are as my designs, therefore do all things obey my word. Therefore do thou come forth unto me from thine abode in the silence, unutterable wisdom, or light, or power. So, Hermes, Mercury, Odin, by whatever name I call thee, thou art still nameless to eternity. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of art. Thou, star of the east, that didst conduct the Magi, thou art the same all present in heaven and in hell. Thou that vibratest between the light and the darkness, rising, descending, changing ever and ever the same. The sun is thy father, thy mother the moon. The wind hath warmed thee in its bosom, and earth hath never nourished the changeless Godhead of light. Come thou forth, I say, come thou forth, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the 12 wonders of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of glowing air and of flashing fire, and every
say a word. He just very serious, focused, deadly, and just might kill you any second kind of stare. And I couldn't figure out first thing when it came to hit me. That was the performance you wanted, was that stare, that look, that thing. Go off like that, and you just broke him like that. And you realize that he wasn't there anymore. He was somewhere else.
Motherfuckers.
It was the end of the mystery. And how do you see this? I mean, is it
relaxation? It is important that all the exercises on all of these tapes be performed regularly. Sooner or later, some salutary results may follow. You might then wish to offer up a prayer of thanksgiving at the opening of each practice session. Use your own imagination and ingenium to compose the kind of prayer that suits you and your own beliefs, rather than follow slavishly some already existent prayer, no matter how excellent it may be. At the root of all systems, metaphysical or occult, relaxation of physical and mental tension is considered a prerequisite. Unfortunately, most systems contain only a rudimentary technique inadequately developed for the use of the new student or beginner, without any assurance that it will produce results. I want to present a time-honored viewpoint that is repeatedly confirmed with usage of the newer scientific techniques of biofeedback. First of all, the student is to lie down on his back on any hard surface, or on a bed with a firm mattress, or on a table covered by a thick blanket. A well-carpeted floor has been known to be most satisfactory. For some, a small cushion is permitted for the head. The basic idea is to let the hard surface support the body. Too often, when lying down, we remain fully tensed when we should permit the muscles to loosen up altogether. Thus, we support our bodies with much too much tenacity instead of letting the hard surface do the supporting for us. He must give himself wholly up to it. A few deep sighs will prove of inestimable value. We should engineer some rudimentary relaxation of the diaphragm, the big muscle separating the chest from the abdomen. What is proposed then is for the student to consider in his imagination every part of the body from brain to the tips of the toes. No intricate knowledge of anatomy is really required. On the other hand, however, if the student has been taught the broad outlines relating to anatomy and physiology, he may find that knowledge useful. While lying on the back, a thick, large pillow should be slipped under the knees so that the knees are raised some few inches from the surface. This tends to induce a mechanical relaxation of the spinal muscles. Let him now cross one ankle over another, the heels resting on the hard surface, and fold the hands over the abdomen by interlacing the fingers.
Bro, you gotta fucking stop.
Consider the brain by visualizing it in the skull. Everyone has, at some time or other, seen diagrams of the cerebrum. Imagine now that the brain is a mass of white and grey nerve substance divided into a right and left hemisphere with a little bulb at the back. The entire surface of these structures is marked by numbers of lobes, convolutions, and depressions. Try to feel that this brain, normally white and grey in colour, becomes pinkish in hue as you think of it. This visualization dilates the blood vessels in the head, automatically directing an increased blood supply there. This creates warmth over and above the normal amount, and this radiating outwards to surrounding structures produces a relaxation. Maintain this visualization long enough to become aware of some kind of sensation in the head, subjective sensations of warmth and tingling. Yet these are not wholly subjective. Biofeedback experiments indicate that the temperature of fingers or toes using this method may be increased by a degree or two. Relaxing the entire body thoroughly in this way will also be found a distinct stimulus to the maintenance and or recovery of perfect health. Imagine next that the blood, which has been warming and so relaxing the brain, pours downwards from the frontal portions of the brain into the forehead, the eyes, and the temples, dilating the blood vessels there. Go through a similar procedure as previously described until you obtain that characteristic sense of warmth, tingling, and relaxation. These are quite unmistakable, being the hallmarks of the induction of a local release of tension. Passing contemplation downward to the ears, reflecting also on the inner ear mechanisms, the cheeks of the face and the nose. Imagine the blood flowing there, bringing about a relaxation of muscular and blood vessel tension by reason of the warmth induced by the surplus of blood in that area. Pause long enough until the appropriate reactions and sensations are clearly noted. Meantime, should your attention wander away to the events of the day, don't get angry or irritable. Wait quietly for a few seconds and gently bring the attention back to the consideration of the area in question. The mind is bound to wander at the beginning of these exercises. It only requires some training and re-education. Bring the blood in your imagination to the lips, the mouth and gums of the teeth, the chin and the angle of the jaw. This procedure having been applied to the whole head, including the back of the head, you should put sensations involved. Also note that the entire body should have begun to lose its grosser tensions. Since the brain is the nerve center of the whole psychosomatic organism, when it relaxes, so also will all other subsidiary parts. The neck is the next area to be considered. The student should visualize the windpipe with all its component parts, if he knows them by name, together with muscles and glands in the front, sides, and back of the neck. They should be imagined as turning pink due to the dilatation of the blood vessels that, holding more blood, are gently warmed by its heat and thus being coaxed into relaxing. As the tensions begin to loosen, pass the attention to the powerful muscles of the shoulders and shoulder joints. Pay great attention to these, for they are unusually tense in most modern people, the price we pay for the benefits and stresses of civilization. Let the attention slowly wander from the shoulders down the arm to the elbow, forearm, wrist, hand, and fingers, dwelling for a minute or so on each part, feeling a sensation of warmth and tingling there, firmly telling each part to relax. Return in imagination once more to shoulders. Visualize the entire chest cage. Within this cage are several large and important organs: the bronchial tubes, the lung, heart, large arteries and veins leading to and from them, and the diaphragm. Also make note of and feel the powerful rib muscles which aid the breathing function. Just make a simple picture of this cage and begin to feel that slowly the blood pours into every dilated artery, vein, capillary. The muscular walls of these vessels relax, enabling them to convey larger quantities of blood than before. Because of this increased blood supply, a greater quantity is being generated in the chest, resulting be aware of everything that is going on inside. This is the process, eventually leading to self-realization, the integration of the whole man. Sensations in different parts of the body will come and go. Watch them. Verbalize and study what you do feel. Let your mind roam freely without becoming fixated on any one part of your body. Make no judgments about what you observe. Make no effort to separate your mind, your awareness, from these bodily sensations. There may be a great temptation to think of something else to distract your mind from discomfort. Don't succumb to this. Just watch and observe. concentrate only on what we are doing, watching and observing our body sensations. Don't criticize or reject any of the different sensations, comfortable or uncomfortable, pleasurable or otherwise. They are your own. Accept them just as they are. You do nothing else but merely observe the rise and fall of sensation without attempting to modify whatever may occur. This practice heightens the function that is called self-recollection, mindfulness, and self-awareness. Experience what is going on inside your body. Become aware of what is happening. Of bodily and muscle sensation. Don't attempt to modify whatever sensory phenomena may occur. Verbalize. Express your awareness, what you feel. becoming aware of your body. You are really trying to become aware of what it feels like. Let your mind move around. Don't try to restrain it or to fix it on any one area or to any one sensation. Let your mind float around inside from head to toes. Take the time to really get the feel of your body. Become aware all the time, not just when it hurts or when there is a pain or an ache. Experience the difference in the different parts of your body. Sense what is going on within your body. With one broad mental sweep, become aware of the body as a whole. From the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. See what the body feels like. Whether it is beginning to tingle or whether it has just faded out, leaving you as a kind of free-floating entity, a free floating self. stretch and twist and enjoy the feeling of your body on the surface. Try and feel what it's like. Wiggle your body around. What sensations do you derive from this? They can be extraordinarily pleasant and pleasurable, and should be. Feel what your body is like as you move it, and as you finally let it at rest. Give thanks for whatever guidance you have received or progress made. Blessed be thou, Lord of the universe, for thy glory flows out to the ends of the universe, rejoicing.
Hi, John.
Express
Oh, how's
clearly
your
what
day?
comes before your attention.
Hi, John. How's your day?
Awareness. What you feel. Realize that you are becoming aware of your body. You are really trying to become aware of what it feels like. Let your mind move around. Don't try to restrain it or to fix it on any one area or to any one sensation. Let your mind float around inside from head to toes. Take the time to really get the feel of your body. Become aware all the time, not just when it hurts or when there is a pain or an ache. Feel and experience the difference in the different parts of your body. Sense what is going on within your body.
That's all you needed to say.
With one broad mental sweep, become aware of the body as a whole. From the crown of the head to the tip tips of the toes. See what the body feels like. Whether it is beginning to tingle or whether it has just faded out, leaving you as a kind of free-floating entity, a free floating self. Now stretch and twist and enjoy the feeling of your body on the surface. Try and feel what it's like. Wiggle your body around. What sensations do you derive from this? They can be extraordinarily pleasant and pleasurable, and should be. Feel what your body is like as you move it, and as you finally let it at rest. Give thanks for whatever guidance you have received or progress made. Blessed be thou, Lord of the universe, for thy glory flows out to the ends of the universe, rejoicing. There he is. Palm Beach Pete.
Philanthropic. He's giving away the Pepsi, which is officially discontinued today. How nice is that? And then there's a mystery Rolex as well, too. So everybody, you can go, does the right thing. The mystery sigil, the mystery Rolex, but I can't tell you what I'm going to get it. Somebody who loves it. I'm gonna drive off from Palm Beach Pete right here in the fucking bush. Love you. Stay tuned. It's up the road. There he is. Palm Beach Pete.
ChatGPT can make money online with $0. Yes, you can.
I'm Juan Duquette. I have just a few thoughts I'd like to share.
I believe there's people that exist, that breathe, that have reason, that believe that Whataburger is better than In-N-Out. It's a very serious problem. I've met one.
can't
We all
bank.
know they play.
No.
Yeah.
Come on, Joe.
It is. Well,
Okay.
how come it simultaneously if Biden deported the most illegals from coming into our country or that were in our country, then how does he also have the most illegals that came into our country in the span of 4 years?
But how does that negate
Yeah, so it's a net loss. Like what you're looking at it as, well, you look at it as a net positive. I look at it as a net loss. So if he turned this many away from the border, let's say 30 million were trying to get in, and he only let 20 million in, but hell, he turned 10 million of them behind around and wouldn't let 10 million of them in. So look, he's tough on immigration, but he let 2/3 of them come into the country illegally. But we know it. They had an app set up. You can't deny that. This is what y'all love to do is you statistics for the crypto. You're clearly aligned with them. You caucus with them. It's no question. Okay. So it's clear the idea is just to overwhelm the right. And look, we got people on the right to go along with it for their own self-interest, like cheap labor. The Koch brothers, they'll play both sides of the fence to get their cheap labor out of this. Walmart wants this because every little immigrant, every Jose needs a new pair of shoes, right? Self-interest. That's what people are actually driven.
No, I would agree with that. I think the Democrats talking about deportation, but fascism, essentially,
Because he knows how to win.
people. So I would agree with you that the Democrats are interested in self-interest. I mean, that's essentially what Biden did when he continued, construction of the border wall. But to me, though, my point is essentially it still stands is that if the Democrats were in favor of letting anybody come into the country, why not important things so nobody needs them?
I can answer Necro respectfully because I do respect Necro, and I'll be very listening. The reason why the Democrats deported illegals when elections, they wanted the campaign to say the border is not open. If the Democrats, and I'll answer Necro succinctly, if the Democrats knew that there would never be an election again, there would not be a single one deported. The Democrats today are constrained by the knowledge that the average voter doesn't want millions and millions of illegals to come in. And that's holding the Democrats back from what they really want. So that's your answer, Necro.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair to say. I mean, but I think it's the idea that, they want to legally come in here legally. I think, I would like to know what that, is suggested because the fact that they have policy that don't disincentivize people to come here, I don't think that that's the same thing.
This is Alistair. I'd like to be put in the queue, and I will be succinct.
Okay, I'm happy to pass the mic out.
So I've seen videos. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Right. It's already been, hold on, let me finish. It's already been running in the world. It's been tested in Europe, and I'll post links. The overwhelming majority of gang rapes in Europe are committed by immigrants from the third world. The same immigrants that ML demands that America let in are committing. If anyone is honest and neutral and just Googles what do ML's policies do to a country, you don't have to speculate. You can see it, and I'll post a few links. I'm going to the audience. ML
Suggestion that, immigrants and crime, among them, but I think it's also important to use a libertarian think tank, which positively is information that their studies have shown that. Now, I don't know if necessarily distinguishing between people who are here who are legally documented versus people who are not documented. But I mean, to me, it's like.
Try to be succinct, Necro. I'd like to go next. Try to be succinct.
Yeah, that's fine. I think I've gotten what I need.
So I've seen videos over the past few days of Angela Merkel, former Prime Minister Tony Blair of Britain. So we have Germany, we have Britain, as well as even the Italian 100,000 African migrants, basically amnesty. And it's because the Spanish people hate their leadership, because they are allowing these illegal migrants to come. It's the same thing here in America. The Democrats want to destroy the country by allowing millions of more illegal alien refugees from all around the world to pour in to collect their votes. It is a scheme, it is a scam, it is a fraud. And Kash Patel, when he's finished drinking all his beer, partying all the time, maybe he'll do something about it and start arresting politicians. Until we start arresting criminal politicians, nothing will change. Nothing. We need arrests, and we need arrests this year. And Donald Trump has to take his eyes, his gaze, his power, and he needs to refocus within. We need to get to the root. We need to rip this tree up, and we need to chop its roots up, which is the Democrat Party. They are criminals. They are fraudsters. They are liars. They are thieves. And until we see arrests, we will never, ever be free of these parasites. They are effeminate. They are brainwashed. They are suicidal. They hate our history. They hate themselves. And they are miserable, horrible, pathetic people who have no intelligence, no courage, no morality, no strength. And I say we crush them, we arrest them, we imprison them, and we put them through the trials and the courts. And if the Democrat judges don't agree and they release, well, then we arrest the Democrat judges. Our police must begin arresting Democrat judges who release murderers back into the streets to kill our people. We must arrest soon and now. We cannot wait. We need mass arrests in this country. I am complete.
How about the top 1%?
Overall, like, I would agree the Democrats are defending mostly people who want to keep immigration a lot. I have this like a wedge issue for the same reason. But I would say the same thing about parties. That's why I called the question. They want to have immigrants come over the border as opposed to just keeping it alive as a wedge issue to accuse the other side of xenophobia or racism.
And where's Alex Soros right now? He's in Spain with the Progressive Movement International Symposium. They call it the progressive movement. It's not progressive. It's murder. It's abortion. It's black tax reparation fraud. Tax for me. I got to pay you merely because of the historical conflict of mankind. It's a fraud. It's a hypnosis communication projection shoved down your throat of lies. And if you speak up, you're labeled racist. If you speak up, you're labeled xenophobic. And weak, effeminate men like Necro, who have had sexual intercourse with trans people, are part of the problem. This young man needs to become a man. Necro, go join the army. Go join the Marines. Go join the Navy. Do something with your life. Be a patriot. Fight and resist this tyranny. These people are traitors. They're liars. They're low IQ. They are gay. They are effeminate. They are traitors. We need to imprison them. We need to arrest them. Their corruption, their frauds, their criminality ends. These teacher unions are RICO racketeering organizations. Guys like ML are effeminate, low IQ, and they're traitors. ML, you're the problem. Necro, you're the problem. All you people on this app that are basically on here wasting their lives creating propaganda content, you're the problem. I am complete.
Yeah, I think we should tell people who are saying that we should go to more countries that they should be concerned.
Well, Lindsey Graham was actually a reserve in the Air Force.
Yeah, well, I think.
But his ass was too fat.
So maybe he should, but he's okay with young people dying for his wars, so.
We should put all the
politicians in there
Yeah,
having
I mean, Lindsay was like Newton Rich, and he's a chick.
What does he even do?
So what?
What's he supposed to do? Who's that? Lindsey Graham. Everybody said he doesn't sound very good.
I think that he should not be demanding. He's too old to be fun. So I wouldn't want Lindsey Graham with the front lines. Trust me, I wouldn't.
Oh, you're going to go to the front lines, ML, and defend America? Yeah, right, ML. You'll be at the back of the line complaining like that's all you do. Lindsey Graham knows how to win. People don't like Lindsey Graham because he wins, and he wins, and he wins, and he wins, and he's unstoppable. And you got to respect the winning. Guys like ML say, oh, I won't fight in the front lines with Lindsey Graham. Yeah, right, ML. You won't be at the front lines. You'll be in the back of the line complaining like what you do on Clubhouse for years. You fucking complaining little cock. You're a cuck complainer. You're a Democrat liar. You're a fraudster and a spinner. You are an effeminate, weak traitor. We don't respect you, and we should deport you. We should arrest you, and we should send you back to your mother country. Goodbye, ML. Puh.
What's your mother country? Because
Who doesn't represent the masses? That idiot that was talking there?
That too. That idiot. Who is that guy?
yeah, I mean, I especially think that he should not be elected to the White House after he talked about doing invading other countries, like to try to establish U.S. supremacy.
And we are. So, like it or lump it.
Trump cannot fail us. He has to go within. He has to root out these Democrat criminal politicians in every major U.S. city by using the FBI and the local police. And if he has to deputize the police and make them federal employees because the city is going to fire them, so be it. We will create the largest federal criminal police network the world has ever seen, and we will mass deport all the illegal aliens. We won't allow one illegal alien in this fucking country, not one. You will be here with your legal papers. There's no I got here, and then we're going to figure it out. No, 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 no. If you go to India, if you go to Russia, and you fuck around, you will be put in jail in a slave labor camp for 10 fucking years. Food, we give you daycare, we give you healthcare, we give you everything you need, but not anymore when Donald Trump realizes the scam and the fraud, and he's still funding it because he doesn't know how to cut off the money, because the Democrat judges keep saying, no, 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 Donald Trump, it is already in legislation, we've got the money, we're taking the money. No, Donald Trump, deploy the police, make arrests. Don't let these Democrat judges get away with it. Make warfare and lawfare your motto, your methodology to conquesting America, because we've been conquested by the liberal left woke progressives. This progressive movement is a fraud. It is a communist socialist scam to fuck the taxpayers. These people are liars and fraudsters, and until we use the police to make arrests, nothing will change. We have to advocate for the police making arrests of politicians, using the FBI and lawyers and judges to file RICO charges. These are criminal conspiracies and racketeering. We won't allow it. It's criminality. It's fraud. It's lying. It's scamming. Guys like ML, oh, I won't go serve in the front line with Lindsey Graham. ML, you're a fucking complainer. Get in the back of the line, bitch.
So here's an example. I think Sean has me confused with Ann, because he keeps talking to Ann, and Ann is not talking at all. So the bias, the prejudice, go get it, girl or boy. I don't know.
We have a county treasurer here in Illinois. She stole $50 million from the county. How the fuck is that even possible? It's because there's nobody's watching. We don't have actuarial scientists, forensic accountants. We don't know what the fuck to do. Fraud is everywhere. And in Chicago, the mayor can take out $1 billion loan to pass it out to his nonprofit scam artist friends. It's all taxation under a different name. It's called the progressive movement. Is really just the we're going to tax you more movement. That's all it really is, folks. It's a fucking fraud. It's a scam. ML, get to the back of the line. Keep complaining.
Well, how's that complain when I'm not in a 37% tax bracket anymore? But I'm good. Your bitch ass is the one who's fucking complaining. You from the price of gas. You're complaining about the price of gas right now. So shut up.
So tell me, how does the individual taxpayer have control over the price of gas?
Yeah, I never mentioned gas once, folks. Note that he brings up gas. I didn't bring it up. I said the progressive movement is a taxation movement. It's a scam and it's a fraud. Go ahead, I'm complaining about the gas price. Go ahead.
I don't complain about the gas price because guess what? I don't complain about groceries because guess what? I'm good.
Oh, and you know what's so amazing is the government, but Brad, you work in IT in the army or whatever the fuck you did, but you didn't start a business. The government made you wealthy. The government funded your adjusted gross income every year, you fucking complainer. The government did it for you. It wasn't your own hard work. It was a parasitic relationship. You are a parasite. Go back to the line and complain, bitch.
Why you saying that, bitch?
You come in these good rooms and you take advantage of Ann and Matt Cool's goodwill. But ML, you're the worst of them. You're a double hypocrite and you're a parasite. Go back to the end of the line and complain, bitch. Like I said, I got a 6-figure income. I don't need to worry about my grocery prices. ML, if I was in charge, I'd have you arrested and deported back to your mother country because you're a parasite. And we're going to prevent all parasites from continuing to leach and draw the blood from our beautiful system. You're just a parasite, ML. Go to the back of the line and complain, bitch.
He's American. Like, you guys need to stop saying that. You guys sound ridiculous. Like,
My mother country, listen, I listen as my lot. Hey, dumbass.
Go back to politically correct and agree with the echo chamber, ML. Go back to your safe space and politically correct with all your friends, ML. You're just a parasite, ML. Go back to politically correct and complain over there, bitch. Go complain over there, bitch. You're just a complaining bitch.
Move on.
No.
Yeah, the U.S. Virgin Islands have only been a territory for about 100 years. So,
It's more than 100 years. More than 100 years.
108 years.
No, we're not going to send him back to. That's not his mother country. It's some African place on the west coast of Africa. That's where we're going to send him back to.
So I don't know how you're gonna take out the white. I don't know how you're gonna take out the white man in me.
No, but Emma, we clearly have different political agendas, and that's ultimately what the immigration argument's really all about, is the political agenda. Would you agree?
No.
It's not really about how much crime illegals commit or don't commit. Right? You can say those statistics don't really play a factor in the debate about immigration. It's really about politics, right?
It's about votes. It's about who rules and runs and governs them now. We don't want parasites like you ruling over us. We don't want trans social activists ruling over us. We don't want Democrat female criminal lawyers and abortionists ruling over us. We don't want black reparation tax socialist communists ruling over us, ML. That's why you got to get to the back of the line with Lindsey Graham and keep complaining, bitch.
decided.
Yeah, hold on, Spartan. Look, ML, you have a lot to say, but when I ask you very direct questions, you don't have.
I'm working. What was the question? I was away from my phone.
Oh, now you're too busy.
No, I was. That's why sometimes you guys don't hear from me.
Making all that American money, right?
I am an American. Which end of money do you want me to make? You want to get paid in euros or pounds? What is it? Or what do you want me to get paid in?
Do you live in America and work in America?
He's from the U.S. Virgin Islands. He's an American.
Yeah, but it's not really a flex though to talk about how rich you are.
No, I said I'm not complaining about the price of shit. I'm good.
Hold on, what's the living?
So he did the most high.
How much do you have to pay for your import tax when you actually have to bring stuff in? The cost of living in our territories is extremely expensive. I'm sure y'all have additional taxes or tariffs, just like Puerto Rico does. And right?
Yes, they do
Yeah,
import a lot of this stuff, but
It's super fucking expensive.
Hold on.
And I would have to guess that the U.S. Virgin Islands are just like Hawaii and Puerto Rico. That most of the money that when you look at it from the countryside, like Hawaii, $4 out of $5 that goes to Hawaii is because of federal money. And I'm sure it's the same for U.S. Virgin Islands. That you don't really have officials that are making tons.
Serious? Do you know? Hold on, this is where you guys talk. You guys know what you're talking about. Do you know for the last? Hold on, Joe. Hold on.
Virgin Islands don't get any federal funds.
Joe, we get more tourists to the Virgin Islands than I think
That Hawaii gets a lot of tourists.
Hold on.
$4 out of $5. If Hawaii wouldn't exist without the American Indian.
That is bullshit. Because Hawaii.
Have
you ever lived in Hawaii?
Okay, so $4 out of $5 that go to Hawaii comes from federal funds. It's not from the tourism. It's not their largest industry. Federal assistance is their largest industry. Now, it comes through many different forms of federal assistance. A lot of it has to do with the money that
It's
goes
the
to
military bases.
Same with the people of the Virgin Islands. And it doesn't dispute the point that Alistair was making about your little islands would not be able to survive without federal assistance.
Can you be done? Okay, now you're done. Okay, let me go now. The point you're making is that the net takers from the federal government are red states. Make that make sense. If you have such brilliant economic.
Oh, here we go again.
So hold on. If you look at the net taker.
It's the red states and it's the gasoline tax. Okay, 2 more complaints. Thank you, ML, for your submission. Wow. Incredible.
The point you made is that, yes, I'm from the UK, I don't really pay for it, but I am going to retire back there. I go there often because this is home.
Not if I get elected. I'll make sure you can never go back. We'll send you back to West Africa. And we will strip you of your pension. We'll make sure you never collect another federal dollar the rest of your life, ML. You go back to politically correct and go join your...
I have to take you back to Europe.
I can't go back to Europe because I'm indigenous. And I can tell by your accent, you're not a native English speaker, ML. So take your lies and shove them up your ass, and maybe Lindsey Graham will come and felch them out your butthole. Oh, thank God El Normo's here. He could maybe talk some sense into you, ML, because you are so brainwashed, so brain rotted out. I fear that our government giving you even one more pension dollar. I know you got an ex-wife and she cleaned you out. That's the greatest justice. That's what I know, and that's what I like to see, is that when big mouth, big brain, stupid lying communist socialists and progressive faggots like yourself get cleaned out by their ex-wives, that's what really gives me joy in my heart. When I know that your retirement's fucked because your ex-wife got you by your balls. That's real justice, ML. That's real fucking justice. Your ex-wife has your balls in her mouth. Taking your pension, taking your income. Bitch, your wife owns your ass, and that gives me joy.
Maybe that's a situation where my ex-wife will get a domino like that because she makes sense.
So really easy. Hold on, Scar. Hold on. Really easy to look up. So tourism only amounts for about 30% of the U.S. Virgin Islands GDP. Now, depending on certain years, when more federal assistance has to be given, at certain times during disasters and stuff like that, federal money is upwards of 40% for the U.S. Virgin Islands. It makes up, almost a majority of the money that goes to the islands.
Well, your ex-wife didn't get your pension, but she still got you by the balls. And I'm so happy your marriage fell apart because you're such a know-it-all. Your ex-wife eventually got annoyed with you, and she said, fuck it, it's not worth it. From my birth to my death, I don't want to live with this fucking know-it-all socialist communist parasite.
And Alyssa, do you even have a woman?
Oh, I got a lot of women, baby, and they ain't got me by the balls like your ex-wife got you by the balls. So you gotta come in these good rooms and waste people's time. I think you're trying to get laid, actually, at the end of the day. Going to politically correct, you think because Patty or First Lady gonna give up that fat ass to you.
He thinks he's funny, but he's an idiot.
Well, I don't think I'm funny. I know I'm funny, and I'm glad your ex-wife ruined your fucking retirement, bitch.
Was there something you wanted to talk about? I know that you requested to speak, so go ahead.
How are you doing?
Well, this is the President Trump discussion. Thanks, everybody, for coming. We're talking about Donald Trump, the greatest president who's ever lived in America. He's doing incredible things domestically. He's terraforming America, terraforming the world of all the criminals, all the terrorists, all the blackmailers, the schemers, the scammers from the past 60 years. He's rectifying history, and many people just don't like history rectified. I, for one, support Donald Trump wholeheartedly. I voted for him 3 times. God bless America. Hope every American here has the greatest weekend of their life, and on Monday we will continue the greatest deportation operation the government of America has ever conducted. Again, it's Operation Deportation, Program Project Deportation. I am complete. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the discussion.
So since we're talking about statistics from the U.S. Virgin Islands, the largest employer of people that work in the U.S. Virgin Islands is the federal government. Near 30% on some years, the federal government is the largest employer for people that work there. That makes sense. Well, why? Like, we support a lot of these island territories and islands.
No, because guess what? You don't realize that in the Virgin Islands, you have, as a territory, the police force is mostly U.S. Marshals. You have the Coast Guard. Then you have the military bases.
This strengthens my point that the U.S. Virgin Islands, the point was...
The federal government is the biggest employing majority states and it's not...
These are particular to our island territories and our island states. The greater point was they would not be able to survive economically without the federal government's assistance.
Yeah, because
They can't even afford. They don't have enough of their own economy to afford even having their own police force.
Let me know when Joe and ML's ISO goes. I want to tell you something about our birthday. Go ahead.
Yeah, ML, I'll let you have the last word. Go ahead and argue the why U.S. Virgin Islands is such a net benefit for America.
Just me, man. Come on now.
That's what you're gonna leave it on?
I
Like I said, we have some amazing beaches to come and visit.
don't want y'all to visit. Hey, I'm relaxing. I don't want when I'm relaxing on the beach to run into an idiot like you guys. It was my paradise.
You get to use that opportunity to really sell us on. And look, it is beautiful.
But we don't want people from the mainland moving down there.
They clearly want our money.
The sun glare.
There's no industry there. I mean, maybe some good.
I am from the island of St. Croix, and we have like the third or fourth largest oil refinery in the world. And for like 4 decades, we have the biggest oil refinery in the world. And we also have an aluminum plant, Marie aluminum plant. What else? Because St. Croix doesn't have tourism. This process also, tourism is mostly St. Thomas and St. George. If you guys really understand what the islands in the territory.
Sure. That's fantastic. Yeah, no, that's a real positive, having an oil refinery there.
And we have one of the biggest oil depots, when you talk about the petroleum reserve and all the oil we store, we have one of the biggest ones now. Yes. Because all the oil that comes to America, they have some place to park it, and they can't refine it, and they park it in St. Croix. What else?
Yeah, it's just a small blip on what Refinery Row in Louisiana and the east side of Texas does. Because that's where the largest oil production comes
Yes,
from.
but we have the largest oil refinery in the world for 4 decades.
Largest on what level? Like,
So the largest amount of burners, the amount of processing power, production. Yeah. We produce majority of America's jet fuel for jet
fuel, very specific.
because
I don't know that.
yes, for jet fuel, we produce majority of America's jet fuel.
Okay, well, good.
And gasoline was the cheapest, has always been cheapest in the Virgin Islands.
Usually where it gets produced, it is in Louisiana as well. It's one of the cheapest locations to buy because it's the transport cost, right?
Yes.
So, okay, there's some benefit. And now, what do y'all have to pay in excise tax for when you do imports?
You don't pay any. You see, the only rule is that America established a law that if you're gonna ship between 2 American states, you have to use an American flag ship. So basically, we pay more to transport goods from American mainland to Vietnam because you have to use an American flag carrier, which charges higher rates than say we would get the goods say from China or not.
Tell me this: what's the benefits tax-wise? Now, y'all don't have to pay the same federal tax rates that we do here in mainland.
It's the same.
Exactly the same.
You don't fucking live in it, but he's talking to me. So you from the Virgin Islands.
Joe is correct. Very few people in the room know this. There's a tax break. If I bring my business to Puerto Rico, my taxes go all the way to 4%. You bring a new business to Puerto Rico, especially a professional services business, your federal taxes go to zero, your state taxes go to zero, your local taxes go to zero. You negotiate 4% income taxes. The best tax break available to an American citizen. So it's perfectly correct when Joe says he's suspicious that there are some tax benefits to an American moving to the Virgin Islands. I'm done speaking. Joe, if you disagree, let me know.
It's really easy for me to look up. I'll be right back.
We're talking about the Virgin Islands.
Foundation documentary. I was so excited when I discovered it yesterday, and then it's free this weekend, so I rushed to do a replay on it this morning. It's the story of the mass fire. I had no idea. Let me see, I was posting it to the Kitover, and you don't want me to advertise for the device Kitover, do you? Because, wow, I didn't know, well, the pros are we have more people there to discuss ideas. The cons are the trolls will get in, and you're very protective of your property. So I'm just like, you're the landlord of the neighbors of the property, so how are you, like you own it? So you take over the money, so whatever you want.
Thanks for that update. Moderators, put me back in the queue. This is Allison. Thank you.
Okay, so, we can circle back on it, but, I mean, my thoughts are, you can advertise for it, and if any of them, are horrific, which, remove them.
Yeah. So it already has the Heritage Foundation in the documentary. Wait, hold on. Elon Musk tweeted about it. His post about it has 50 million impressions. Let me see what that is. So the Heritage Foundation post has 15 million views. And I get that John Kitover has an agenda and he wants the mic right now.
Oh, Monica, agenda. I just wanted to share a few thoughts. You don't have to say I have an agenda, Monica, but thanks for mentioning my name.
And on my comment of the critical race theory and our military such corrosive and divisive and racist. I would love to have that conversation with people. The pastor who is segregating black children right now, I know books reviews on his trash logic and alienating the white soldier needs to be known about. This is
Okay, so I'll respond succinctly. Anyone that understands the actions of America's enemies know that America's enemies want nothing more than to have us divided by race. And China and Iran, if you actually if you just go watch the TikToks that China and Iran are giving to our youth, China and Iran are teaching our youth to hate their fellow Americans who are of different races. And so when the U.S. military, and we have a military man here who could speak, when the U.S. military teaches American patriots of one race to hate American patriots of another race, they're serving American enemies. So shame on everyone that did that. I'm done speaking.
I see the room. We're going in a new thread. I just want to finish up the U.S. Virgin Islands tax benefits that they do get, and then we go down to new thread. Look, it does. U.S. Virgin Islands did have generally a similar tax break as Puerto Rico does. However, they have one thing that's different, which they are very restrictive of mainlanders moving to U.S. Virgin Islands to make it. They can get tax breaks up to 90%. They can lower the personal tax rate down in some industries down to between 2 and 4% in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So ML is not being truthful when he says it's exactly the same. It's not. Yeah, it's not the same. They actually are. They're not working with the same laws and rules that the federal government tax rules that the rest of us mainland Americans are. And on top of that, they're very restrictive of us moving there to take advantage of those tax rules. Yeah, clearly. So the U.S. Virgin Islands gets to suck money out of America and play by different rules. But they don't have to allow, and they can restrict Americans from moving there as well to try and to access those extra benefits.
So not only is the record forgetting one thing. No, let me take this right quickly, Joe, and then
because you're from the
No, ML. The other thing you are dishonest about, ML, is the murder rate in the Virgin Islands. I just looked it up, and the murder rate on the Virgin Islands is more than 10 times as high as it's in the U.S. So you should be
You know what's amazing? That's essentially ML's philosophy on life, and he's self-interested. I'd like to be put back in the queue. This is Alistair.
Let's hear it, Alistair. Follow up.
So I created a new house. It's called the Progressive Movement, and it's my opinion that it's just a tax scam, because I'm witnessing it real time here live with our mayor in Chicago, who's going on television in a presser and saying we need to tax the racist white people a black tax for reparations. That tipping is connected to slavery, when he doesn't even know that it's an acronym, which means to improve performance and service. You should be tipped if you got a great attitude and your customers like you. I recently got a phone call from a banker, and he was screaming at me in the voicemail. And I've also come to the conclusion that I might be one of the most annoying people who have ever lived. And I hope one day to have patriotic children who will also become one of the most annoying people who have ever lived, because we need annoying people to question authority, think for ourselves, and stop letting people like ML fill your ears with his waste of time lies. These are all progressive movement lies. The progressive movement doesn't deal with our national deficit. The progressive movement doesn't deal with the fact that we're spending $7 trillion a year, collecting $5 trillion, and we have a $40 trillion mortgage with a $100 billion a month mortgage payment. I'm looking at this from a pragmatic American, patriotic, financial accountant, perspective, which is really, we need to talk about the books. Too many people want to talk about political identity politics and all this bullshit. It's a waste of time. Let's talk about the books, baby. The books is the truth, the math, as they like to say. And the truth is that at your birth and at your death, you'll question whether Clubhouse was worth it. To waste your time listening to guys like ML. I rest my case. I am complete.
Look, I got to follow up. It's not surprising that ML is as progressive as he is. I mean, the U.S. Virgin Islands did not even become a territory until the famous, most progressive president we've ever had, Woodrow Wilson, accepted them into the Union. And now we find out how much of a tax burden they are on our country, how much benefits they get from being part of our country, where they don't pay into the general fund. However, they extract money out of the general fund. It makes sense where ML is coming from now. ML, do residents, do they have a Woodrow Wilson Day for him accepting y'all into the Union?
He's our favorite president.
He's our favorite president. Exactly.
No, we don't have a
progressivism. We don't have a progressivism.
He was joking.
Yeah, no, he's not joking. I mean, it might be.
Republicans, what did they have a role in this? If there was so mighty high.
Trying to change the conversation, Spartan. We're clearly discussing U.S. Virgin Island politics right now. ML made a big point about it.
Joe was the kind of to say that I wasn't a heritage American.
You're like an adopted cousin in our family. That's okay. You're part of our family. I have the spirit of American. You don't share the same interests as I do. And there's a lot of reasons why you don't share the same interests. I mean, being raised in an island state or an island territory that extracts money that good-hearted, worshiping Americans pay into that we don't get to benefit from. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense when the most progressive president in the history of America is the one that actually adopted y'all into the Union. And look, I get it. If I was to sell it, when I asked you a question about sell it to us, which was good economic, the reason what you should say is, look, it's a great strategic defensive position for America to hold that spot in that location, because it allows us to defend the rest of America. You'll take my money. Just yeah, give it time.
And that's where I
Thomas Madison before he became a congressman. And Thomas Madison has an excellent lecture about how corrupt and fiscally irresponsible the U.S. government is, and how they are completely infiltrated by special interest lobbyists, and also all the law breaking they do. And Thomas Massey is probably the only patriot we have. He's busy growing peaches on a self-sustainable farm at our house like he built it by himself because he's an MIT graduate and a goddamn genius. Meanwhile, we got a bunch of Maxian waters. Nancy Pelosi's going around and just fucking ruining everything. I'm complete. Thanks for letting me interrupt you, Monica. Sorry for imitating you, by the way, but I hope everybody listen. Do you think we could listen to a Jordan Peterson film soon? Oh, she got a phone.
Who's Jordan Peterson?
He's just the greatest philosopher that Canada has ever produced.
Hello? The greatest? I wouldn't say the greatest. I don't know.
We're talking about Canada here.
People.
Everybody the greatest, so that Trump's the greatest. Every mediocre person around in this circle is the greatest. I don't understand that logic.
I don't trust any of the government, anybody in the government. You know, also,
Are you enjoying the show, Matt?
Republicans suck, everybody sucks.
Well, there you go.
No, this is live. I was just imitating Monica in a big room. What are you doing? Hello?
So you went into a live room and you were doing that?
Yeah, I'm still in the room. I'm on the stage on another account.
Oh, I see.
You know, they just opened up a big magic restaurant in Chicago downtown. If you want to go have dinner there, it's like $400.
Dude, that's like a drop in, that's so cheap.
It's an experience. It's like a 3-hour experience or something, and you go to all these different rooms. It's a mansion called the McCormick Mansion, and some wealthy, magician, a former tech executive. I don't know who he is exactly, but looks pretty dope. People like magic, and I can tell by your PTR, you have power.
Magic isn't real.
It's basically, I think it's like a way to use your brain, prior to obviously computers and all that, but through literature or hieroglyphics, it's basically a way for people to do memory, information storage, and communication transfer, prior to the advent of actual computer technology storage. That's what, to me, when I look at, if I look at an ancient hieroglyphic from 2,000 years ago, and then we were to,
Oh, I know what you mean.
yeah, if
Yeah, I agree with that.
yeah, it's basically just information technology.
Yeah.
I used to work with this IT professional, in a business unit, and we were talking about IT, and then I was like thinking about intelligence, and I'm like, it's not really information technology. I'm like, it's intelligence technology.
That's valid. Yeah, that is the origin of all of our progress, isn't it? Somebody figured out how to store intelligence in some form.
So the question ultimately becomes, what's the best form of intelligence? Because if everything is basically an aesthetic of index, a bell-shaped curve of subject or object, if we look at intelligence and we look at it from the perspective of, let's say, brain science, we can start making hypotheses and experiments of what the topic is, which is intelligence.
Well, it is kind of evident that based on evolution, humans are optimized for intelligence. Right? That was the determining factor that allowed us to branch off of every other organism that we've ever seen. So
yeah. Well, in what ways do you think you've been optimized for intelligence, or in what ways do you think you have personally optimized yourself, for intelligence?
I have a statistical. I have a statistical edge in that I'm pretty good at quantifying variables. Large amounts of variables to predict futures. I thought that was a pretty common thing that all humans can do until I started interacting with other people and I realized that most people just work with what they got. But I am able to somehow go beyond what's given and come up with my own variables, make sense of them. You get me?
Yeah. What's interesting is intuition can process a tremendous amount of variables. And so, like, from like a trading perspective,
That's true.
Yeah, in Wall Street and the stock market, you can make very you can make intuitive decisions based off of like relative variables. So just like company A versus company B, and then the environment. So there's like a way to compress so many variables in your observation that, like, even if it's like AI and software and huge data sets, it still might not give you the actual, it might give you the wrong answer. So that's why, as the primary user of the experience, your intuition is like a supercomputer, a quant, mathematical quant. I mean, you're basically, your super advanced AI, your 65 billion years of optimization. Hello?
I'm here.
So one thing that I like to do when I'm interviewed is to tell the camera or the possible listeners to take the deepest breath of the day. What do you think that means?
Deepest breath?
Yeah, take the deepest breath of the day and hold it for 10 seconds. 10, not 11. 10, not 9.
Isn't there a way to reset your limbic system?
Limbic system? What's the best pickup line you have at the bar, Matt?
Let me think. Let me get your opinion on something.
Yeah, okay. But how would you actually do it? Say there's a beautiful woman at the bar, you walk in, she looks at you, and you have to come up to her and hypnotize her. What would you say to her to immediately hypnotize her?
I'd say just that. I'd say, but before I even hit her with that line, I'd say something like, yeah, I gotta go in a minute, but before I do, let me get your opinion on something. Bam, hypnotized.
That is actually a very low quality suggestion. So hypnosis is just a series of suggestions, like Pavlovian suggestion.
That was a series of suggestions.
It's not.
They went completely undetected in your system.
No. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that your side B of the CD, the side AC, the side of the ACD, or the other side of that is, let me tell you. So if you walk up to her, you say, this is my opinion. Excuse me, can I ask you a question? Because now you've like triggered like oh my God, what's this guy gonna ask me? Then the second suggestion would be, do you believe in hypnosis? And then she'll like maybe blush or look away or look you directly in the eyes. Maybe she'll be smart and funny and give you an interesting response. But then you follow up with, because you're hypnotizing me, you're so beautiful and mesmerizing. That's like a nice compliment. And it's a funny thing because, basically a woman is hypnosis. the curves, the movement, the eyelashes, the perfume, the makeup, the painting. They're art. Every woman is basically a magnificent piece of art. And yeah, so
The later half of your line is pretty strong, but the early half, I think that will get you turned off before you can deliver your real payload.
by saying, "Excuse me, can I ask you a question?"
And then, do you believe in hypnosis? Yeah.
So do you think you should just come in close and say, "Excuse me, do you believe in hypnosis?" Just get right to the point.
No, that would get you ignored as well.
Oh, so how would you present it? The way that you said it?
Yeah, I would combine mine with yours. I would combine my first part with your second part.
So wait, what is that? How does that go?
Hey, I gotta go in a second. Before I do, can I get your opinion on something? Do you believe in hypnosis? Because you're hypnotizing me. Something like that. Yeah.
Okay, let me try it. Excuse me, I gotta go. I only have a second, but can I ask you a question? Do you believe in hypnosis? Because you're hypnotizing me.
Right. Well, you gotta give them a chance to process what you're saying, right? If you just deliver it all like that. But the point is, if you meet a random girl or a random stranger and you tell them that you're gonna leave in a little bit, that will make them more receptive to what you're gonna say next.
But what is the point of telling them that you're gonna leave in a little bit? See, that's why I go back to the question of intelligence, because
it's critical. That's the most critical part. In the setting that you're describing, women are approached by a series of dudes. And so by telling them that you're going to leave in a little bit, that lets them know that if you turn out to be a creep, you're going to be gone anyways.
No. We're not trying to create a safe space. See, in my opinion...
I know we're not. However, that's how women process information. Women are constantly analyzing who's safe, who's not. And so by interjecting that you're going to leave in a second, that bypasses that defense mechanism.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll take it. So have you tried this in the real world? Because I'm going to try it tonight.
Oh, yeah. I've tried that so many times.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And it works for you?
Like a charm.
Okay. So what other suggestions do you have?
When I was in my early 20s, I studied pickup artistry.
And what's the compression? What did you learn? How did you implement it?
I remember bits and pieces now. I mean, I'd have to recall my library. Let me think. Can you ask me a question and then let me see what it'll trigger?
Peacocking and picking up through peacocking.
Right. So peacocking is a good one, but the purpose of peacocking, do you know what that is?
I think it's super stimulus. You're trying to stand out in a weird way intentionally to make the subject question. You're trying to enhance your attractability by creating attention communication.
Yeah, that's fair. You're trying to stand out apart from the average Joe by doing one thing that's eccentric. It's not about going crazy. It's just about having something that sets you apart from everyone else. And that could be, one item. It doesn't have to be a whole outfit. It could be one funny hat, or maybe even a shiny belt or a badge on your chest. It could be anything. It could be a bow tie. Though, even a bow tie, you can pull that off. But yeah, that's what peacocking really is about. So you go to the bar with this one thing and you put it somewhere visible. It'll set you apart. And then, I remember my favorite thing that I learned. There were five primal attraction triggers. And if you hit any one of them, you'll create attraction. The most basic one, everyone knows this one, is right, if you can display that you have the quality of a leader, and you can hit this trigger in so many different ways. So it's like when you hit him with that pickup line, and then you're delivering the hypnosis line, that interaction is your opportunity to deliver one of these 5 triggers, or as many of them as you can reasonably compress into like one interaction. And then as you deliver them, you'll see in her body language the effect you're having. Oh, here's actually another one that's really good. So you want to send them straight. You want to